Previously on My Modular Journey. The Behringer Go case, MIDI interfaces, miscellaneous utilities, clocks, mutable instruments, plates, rings, Monsoon by Mr. Siri, mutable instruments, marbles, stages, veils. I promise this is the last mutable instruments fanboy piece in the rack. The Lattic random trigger gate and the Lattic skipper. Mordax data, 4MS ensemble, the chainsaw oscillator. Talking about the Bastille Cinema, the Quadigy quad envelope generator. The Behringer 2600, the Doepfer VCA mixer, ornament and crime. The ACL Symphonian. Oh my God, Matthias Kettner, wherever you are. God bless you. I hope you live for 1,000 years. The Instruo Looper, WMD Modbox, Chaos Devices Batumi, Belgrade, Disting Mark IV, Exor Electronics NerdSec, Erica Synths Pico DSP, 2HP Verb, Ultra Random Analog Module. 2022 ushers in the 6-month mark of My Modular Journey with Season 2. While Season 1 had 30 episodes and a number of demo songs, Season 2 will likely not have as many purchasing decisions, since the crazed buying of new gear has slowed a bit. Not fully, but just a bit. This season will focus more on sound design, generative music, patching, and sonic experiments as I continue to learn about modular synthesis. Also, hopefully, less talking and more music. I will be focusing, at least in the beginning, on filters, effects, and some utility modules now that I have a better idea what I want to do. Fine-tuning the rack to whatever I need, and building a full System 100M and Minimod synths. Some takeaways from the 2021 learning experience. Modular is, in fact, super fun. There. I said it. I can see how people get addicted to this form of synthesis. It is very easy to buy a few modules, get excited and want more, and then rinse and repeat over and over. I myself do not have an addictive personality, at least I don't think so. But instead I suffer from the desire for instant gratification. So I had my list, and rather than wait patiently to learn slowly, deeply, I just wanted to get to the end of the song as soon as possible. Which leads me to the takeaway. Too much, too quick. I mentioned that in the conclusion episode. I know many of my Season 1 modules didn't get the coverage that they deserved due to, if I'm being honest, my not taking the time to learn them fully. This year, I plan to be different because purchasing will be slower. I have tons of toys to play with already, and I'll get to know my new modules before hitting record on a video. I also learned that while generative is my ultimate goal, sequencing has turned out to be a blast. So much so that I now have a NerdSec, a Symphonian, a Rene 2, and an Ornament and Crime sequence app. Not to mention Logic and or Pro Tools and the Korg Kronos. I didn't realize how much I missed general song composition and arrangement until fiddling with Eurorack sequencers. Speaking of, while I spent July through December 90% in modular, I am realizing the other side of me, the pop rock, prog rocker, or instrumental score creator that all got shoved aside for this new learning experience. It isn't a bad thing, but now that the honeymoon phase has kind of ended, I can see room in my day and to add back some of the other genres of creativity that was the core of me as a musician, before I completely forget who that guy is. That's not to say modular is not fun, but I've had 40 years of pop rock, prog, and symphonic instrumental composition that truly is the basis of me, and I want to remember that. Regarding sound design, one of my 3 goals for modular was getting lost in sound design and making as much noise as possible. The sounds coming out of this house have to have the neighbors raising their eyebrows. This is a true story. Even though my letterbox is located on the street, my USPS mail carrier will occasionally come to the door, sometimes just to ask what that sound is blasting out of my front door. True story. And the final takeaway from 2021 is that my rack is never finished. Modules being moved around constantly, adding, removing, shifting. Maybe someday it'll be stable, but for now I spend more time moving things around than creating. almost like trying on shoes to find the best fit. Let me talk about the content I have planned. My Modular Journey, of course, Season 2 I'm calling it because I'm starting a new year. I already have this beautiful base rack built with some things that are off camera you can't see. I'm absolutely in love with every single piece that I've purchased, including some things you might see in here that have not been talked about yet that we're going to work on the first few episodes. So there will be new purchases, of course. I am nowhere near done building the perfect beast. As new modules roll in, and after I've spent ample time learning the ins and outs, I will publish new why and how videos in the same format as Season 1. Starting Season 2 will be a couple of last-minute purchases in November that I'll do episodes about, and one of them is Talon that came in late last year, Oct that came in right, I think, at the same time, and then, of course, the Make Noise Renee, which finally came available, and I snagged it the second it was for sale before it disappeared again, which is the story for a lot of my modules, right? Also, one of the first episodes is going to be my Christmas gear. So I mentioned earlier I was going to build a System 100M, and I did. So here's a little sneak peek for you. So that's it for episode 0 of Season 2 of My Modular Journey, starting in February of 2022. Let me end this on 2 major acknowledgements if I can. One of them is to you, the viewer of these videos. I am truly humbled and honored that anybody finds these worthy of watching in the first place, because these really were just my video diaries, and I had no intention of even posting them publicly, which brings me to my second acknowledgement to my brother, COPO, who saw the first few episodes as I was learning DaVinci Resolve, and he said, "This is great content, you need to publish this." And I was reluctant, but I did it, and here we are. My channel has grown 1,000-fold in the last 4 months after being 10 years old. So who knew? I guess he did. So there's that. So thank you, Brother Tony. And thank you again, the viewers, for taking this journey with me.